Dear students, welcome to the video lecture session on synchronous motor drives under module 5. It is continuation of part 3. This is a syllabus. Stepper motor drives, variable reluctance, permanent magnet, important features of stepper motors, torque versus stepping rate characteristics, drive circuit for stepper motor. Stepper motor can be divided into three categories. First one is variable reluctance motor. Under this, single stack variable reluctance motor, multi-stack, M-stack variable reluctance motor. Second one is permanent magnet stepper motor. Third one is hybrid stepper motor. Variable reluctance stepper motor. The basic principle is involved here is variable reluctance stepper motor is based on the property of the flux lines which capture the low reluctance path. Okay, so this is a very important term. Reluctance, low reluctance path will be taken into consideration here. Okay, I will explain in with the figure how it will be aligned with the low reluctance path in later slides. Okay, the stator and rotor of the motor are aligned in a such a way that the magnetic reluctance is minimum. It means what? The stator and the rotor of the motor, okay, I repeat here, stator and rotor of the motor are aligned in a such a way that the magnetic reluctance is minimum. Okay, where the magnetic reluctance is minimum, these are aligned with this one, so that moment you will get, okay, I mean that the torque you will get and the rotor moment can be obtained. Okay, there are two types of variable reluctance stepper motors. Single stack variable reluctance motor and multi stack variable reluctance motor. Okay, first one is variable reluctance stepper motor, single stack. Okay, so here in this, a variable reluctance stepper motor has salient pole or tooth, stator and rotor, while rotor has no windings. I repeat here, the variable reluctance stepper motor has salient pole. I will show the figure in next slide. Let us one more point we will understand here. Stator has concentrated coil placed over the stator poles. Okay, so I will show you figure. Okay, this. In this, you can see here the variable reluctance stepper motor has salient pole, stator, okay, salient pole, stator, and rotor also you can see here. This is the salient pole. Well, rotor has no winding. Here the rotor has no winding. Okay. Stator has concentrated coil placed over the stator poles. Okay, I repeat here, the stator has concentrated coils here, A, B, C, D, if you are looking here, over the stator poles. Stator winding phase number depends on the connection of stator coils. Okay, it depends upon the stator connection of stator coils. Now, the working in brief, I will explain here. When the stator phases are excited in a definite sequence from a DC source with the help of semiconductor switch, here switches are used. Okay, these are switches SA, SB, SC and SD. Okay, this through these switches DC supply is applied with a proper sequence. Okay, I will discuss later the what is sequence and how the rotor it will be rotates. Then what it will be happens when we are applying the supply through this switches, semiconductor switches, resultant air gap field steps around and rotor follows the axis of air gap field. Okay, air gap field due to reluctance torque, what it will be happens developed by the tendency of magnetic circuit to occupy the position of minimum reluctance. So what it will be happens here, for an example I will explain with one example. Okay, here 4-phase 2-pole, here we can say that this is a ABCD 4-phase and 2 poles. Okay, 4 poles in the stator, in other words we can say that 4 poles in the stator, A, B, C, D, and 2 in rotor. Hence we will say that 4-phase bar 2 pole machine it is. Okay, single stack variable, because only one stack is used here, hence it is called single stack. Rotor doesn't have more number of stacking, only one single stack it is. Okay, hence it is called single stack variable reluctance stepper motor. Okay, for phases A, B, C, D, I will delete this one. Okay, for A, take it from here, source is taken to the switch SA and it will becomes to the A, and here it will be back come to the negative. I hope the connection how it is there clear. Once again I will repeat here, the supply DC supply is connected through this SA switch and it will be comes to the stator pole. Okay, A pole we can say, it will becomes back to the new negative of the supply. It means what, when you are turned on this, when you turned on SA switch, it will be connected through A and it will comes to the back to the supply. Okay, similarly other poles are connected through the switches SB, SC, SD. Okay, now phases are excited in the sequence of A, B, C, D, A. I repeat here, the sequence of the excitation from this source is A, if SA, SB, SC, SD is nothing but what, A, B, C, D. You are exciting the through the semiconducting switches. So let us understand what it will be happens when we are exciting pole A through this. What it will be happens when A is excited, the reluctance torque causes rotor to turn until it aligns with the axis of phase A. So this rotor which it will be aligns with this A. Okay, the rotor is stable in this position and cannot move until phase A is de-energized. It will be stable, it will be rotates and it will be comes to the in this position, what it will be shown, and it will be stable at this position until we have to de-energize this. De-energize means you have to open this switch. Okay, next what I will do here in this, B is excited and A is disconnect. I will open this and I will connect this. What it will be happens in this, the rotor turns through 90° in clockwise direction. It will becomes to the clockwise direction to align with the resultant air gap field, which now lies along the phase B axis. I will clear here. I will show you this rotor which it will be moves and aligns with B because B is excited. A is de-energized. I repeat here, A is de-energized, B is excited. So rotor it will be takes 90°. So earlier it was there in this position, now it will be aligned to the B phase. So it will be takes here to here 90°. I hope it is clear. Now, if in the sequence A, B, C, D, A, rotor turns with the step of 90 degree in clockwise direction, what it will be happens next? What I will do here, the B is de-energized, C is energized. So again it will be rotor, it will be moves in this direction. Next step, again de-energizing the C, energizing the D. What it will be happens? The rotor it will be rotates another 90 degree. Next step, D is de-energized, A is again energized. So rotor it will be takes the position as shown in the figure now. I hope it is clear. So it will be follows the low reluctance path, low reluctance path, and rotor it will be rotates complete 360 degree. Each step is 90 degree here. A to B it will becomes means 90 degree. B to C again 90 degree, 180 degree. So like that it will be complete the one cycle. Okay. Now next step is discussion step is here. If I want to reverse the rotor position, what I have to do here? I have excited A, then B. When I'm exiting B, A is de-energized. Next step, C is energized, D is de-energized. Next step, D is energized, C is C is de-energized. Now A is energized, D is de-energized. So it will be takes a clockwise direction. Each step it is 90 degree. Clear. Now I want to make reverse direction. Reverse direction means I want to go for anti-clockwise direction. What I have to do here? Very simple. What you have to do here means when you are excited A, then what you have to do here, A de-energize and de-energize. I repeat here, A de-energizes means I am opening this switch SA, and now I will turn it on semiconducting switch SD, means D pole it will be energized. So what it will be happens, rotor it will be takes the position in this direction. Next I want to move this rotor in this position here. I have to bring to the in this position. So what I have to do? D de-energize, C energize, so that rotor it will be takes again 90 degree. Next C is de-energize, B energizing, so rotor it will be takes in this position. Next it will be takes this position when I am de-energizing B and again I am energizing A. So what it will be happens, the rotor it will be rotates in anti-clockwise direction. So the conclusion is what? The direction of rotation depends only on the sequence in which phases are switched and is independent of direction of current through the phases. So it's totally or entirely depends upon the direction of rotation. It depends on the sequence in which phases are switched. Okay. So the sequence, what shall I write here? For anti-clockwise, I will write here A, D, C, B and A for anti-clockwise. For clockwise, what shall I write here? A. For clockwise, I will write A, B, C, D and A. So for clockwise direction. Now this is the in step of 90 degree. The step angle can be reduced from 90 degree to the 45 degree by exciting the phases in sequence A plus B, B plus C. If I am doing so, what I will get, if I am exciting the A plus B, I am exciting the this and this simultaneously, what it will be happens, the rotor will be takes the exactly 45 degree, half of this one, because their low reluctance path will be follows the low reluctance path and it will be takes a position is yeah, shown. Once again I will show you here. I will delete. Okay, so the position it will be takes here. It means 45 degree it will be goes. Okay, so the excitation is a plus b. I'm not de-energizing. A plus b I will mention. I will write here a plus b. Okay, similarly next I will go for b plus c. Next 45 degree c plus d. Then next d plus a. Like that, if I am exciting the poles stator, then rotor it will be takes the 45 degree in each step. 45 degree in each step. So here the conclusion is, when we are exciting the both phases A and B, the resultant air gap field X is the rotor turns by 45 degree in the clockwise direction. Okay. Similarly, we can go for anti-clockwise direction. Yes, earlier we are done anti-clockwise with 90 degree. 45 degree also we can do here. A plus D, okay, both simultaneously I am exciting, so that it will be takes the rotor in this. Next D plus C plus B, then B plus A. Okay, so what it will be happens, it will be takes in anti-clockwise direction. Here one very important point would like to tell you here. The technique of gradually shifting excitation from one phase to the another, example from A to B. Okay, as I am shifting to the A to B, okay, or A plus B, in between A plus B I am going, right? So that simultaneously I am applying the both poles, stator poles A and B. Such process is known as what? Micro stepping, and is used to realize the smaller steps depending upon the how much steps you want. With respect to that, we have to go for the steppings. Okay, so the intermediate step of A plus B is known as micro stepping. The term you have to remember is, if you are going for intermediate step, for an example A plus B is known as here the micro stepping, and is used to realize the smaller steps. Okay, okay, so in this okay, this I covered everything. Explanation is in the PPT, it is added, so afterwards you have to go through everything I explained. Okay, this also I explained. So here this is the four phase 8/6 pole variable reluctance motor. If you are looking to this, it will be showing here the 15 degree stepping is 15 degree. Okay, when phase A is energized, the rotor turns until a pair of its pole 1 and 4, okay, 1 and 4 is aligned with axis of phase A. So hence it will be takes 15 degree. It depends upon the your number of poles, how many you are taken, and rotor how many it will be poles you are taken, so that it will be aligned. It depends upon this the angle we will get. So here what it is there, we are taken 15 degree, hence it will be takes the 15 degree. Next what it is there, if you B is excited, the rotor turns by 15 degree in clockwise direction. Okay, until rotor poles 3 and 6 are aligned with the axis of phase B. So here what it is there, I will show you 3 and 6. If you are applied the B, 3 and 6 it will be aligned. So as shown in the figure, what it is there, 15 degree it will be shifting. It will be shifts in this direction. Okay, what it will be, how much it is there, 15 degree. So like that we are exciting the depending upon the rotations. Rotation in clockwise means I will go for this one. Anti-clockwise means reverse, as earlier I have discussed. Same things also he can follow here. And micro stepping also means in between steps also we can get here. So in this 15 degree means half means 7.5 degree I can obtain. The same similar what I explained in the earlier. If I am exerting the A plus B, then I will get the 15 degree, then B plus C, C plus D. In this fashion, it will be rotating in the step of 7.5 degree. Next discussion is multi-stack. This already I have covered. Okay, multi-stack. If you are looking to here, there are number of stacks. Stack A, stack B, stack C. Okay, stack A, stack B, stack C. In this, what it is it? Such multi stacks are used for smaller range of stepping. For an example, range of 2 to 15 degree. Usually, there are 3 stacks are common. A multi-stack motors may employ a many as 7 stacks also. Okay. If you want to go more less number of steps, the more number of stacks is used. Okay, more as many as 7 stacks. In general, 3 stacks are common. Okay. In this stack, variable reluctance motor with their rotors mounted on a common shaft. Okay, common shaft it will be mounted rotor. Okay, this is a stator. The stators and rotors have the same number of poles or teeth and therefore the same pole tooth pitch. Okay, I will explain here what is tool. This one pole pitch I will explain later. In this, all the stator poles windings is in a given stacks are energized simultaneously energizing. All the stator poles are simultaneously energizing. Since all the stator pole windings is given stacks are excited simultaneously, the stator winding of each stack forms one phase. I'll explain here. Okay. Stator poles in the 3 stacks are aligned. The rotor poles are offset from each other by 1/3 of the pole pitch. Okay, pole pitch I will explain here. What is the pole pitch? Okay. In this, the pole pitch is nothing but 360 degree divided by n. Okay, where n is the number of rotor poles. I repeat here, n is the number of rotor poles or teeth and m is the number of stacks or faces. So with help of this we can come to know that what is the step angle. With help of this we can come to know that step angle, how much it is required, how much it is there, depending upon the n. I repeat here, number of rotor poles or number of rotor teeth, we can say. M is the number of stacks or faces. Depending upon this m and n, we will get the step angle, means the rotor it will be rotates within a angle. Okay, this is called the pole pitch. Okay, I will go back and I will explain here. See, in this what it is there, rotor stacks are A, B, C, 3 are there. If you are looking to the here, 10 degree it will be rotor, it will be aligning. Okay, the relative position of stator and rotor poles for 3 stacks when phase A is excited. When phase A is excited, I will show you the figure. Okay, when A is excited, rotor poles of a stack A are aligned with the stator poles. What it will be happens when you are exciting the stack A, when you are applying this stack A, what it will be happens, rotor poles of stack A are aligned with the stator poles. In this figure I will show you. Now next what figure I will show, I will come back again here. Here you see, it will be 10 degree, it will be aligning. Okay, when you are applying the rotor of stack A, it will be aligns with 10 degree. Okay, similarly A is de-excited and B is excited. Rotor poles of stack B will be get aligned with the stator poles. Okay, next B is de-excited and C is excited. Rotor will move by another 1/3 of pole pitch in the anti-clockwise direction. So depending upon your excitations, it will be goes on shifting by 10 degree here. If you are looking to this, it will become clear that the rotor it will be gets aligned with stator poles with by a step of 10 degree. Okay. Next one is so just you have to go through this. Already I covered this one. Okay, this is next one is permanent magnet stepper motor. See time. Okay, permanent magnet stepper motor. This I will discuss in the next video lecture. Okay, now I will conclude this session. Okay, thank you.